Okay, I'd like to welcome everybody to the Selectmen meeting of April 28th, Monday, 2025, at 5 p.m. The Select Board is all here and present. I'd like to pledge allegiance to the flag.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do a moment of silence for Pope Francis, or no?
Yeah, right. Since we have people here, I'd like to adjust the order that we're going to talk the thing in. I figured the police cruiser update would be quickest, so if we would start with that. Ron, you want to?
I just was, I know this whole police cruiser thing is, I know you were waiting from the town of Adams to get back to you, right?
Correct, yes, they have a meeting tonight that they're
they said,
discussing it,
yeah.
and I did touch base with him today, and I told him we need an answer,
Okay.
And
I just basically, I just wanted to know where we were with everything. I have an offer from MCLA on the vehicle. The town of Cheshire had given me some input also.
Okay.
I was just waiting to hear back from Adams to know which direction we're gonna go here, so.
Mark, did you have anything you wanted to add, or?
Just here to,
Just here to
what
see.
the board has to say and where they're headed.
Yeah.
They're ready now. MCLA is ready now.
All right.
All right, so
And-
if we have a purchase sale agreement tomorrow, we're ready to cut a check tomorrow.
All right, that sounds good, yeah, because we definitely want to move on with that, and we'll see what Adams says, they'll tell us tomorrow.
yeah, they have a meeting at
So,
6:30 tonight.
My question with the town of Adams is, were they gonna have to bring it to their annual town meeting for approval?
It was my understanding that they do not have to, that they were getting it approved tonight at their finance committee meeting.
Okay. And there was a difference, I'm assuming, was there a difference in offers between the two?
Yeah, and Adams is interested in both cruisers, so it'd be
Okay.
kind of one contract to sell both of them.
Okay.
And the difference between the offers is about $10,000 on the Explorer.
Okay.
Okay. And, Mark, the MCLA is just interested in the one vehicle,
Right.
but they're ready to make
One
the offer.
cruiser, myself and Ron had spoke. We talked about fair market value. I was given a price. I went to my admin finance people and the vice president with that.
Okay,
That's what they've approved.
okay.
Again, I mean, I'm not going to speak about what Adams' rules are, because it's not my privy to do that.
No,
If they're going to take from their reserve account from their finance committee,
right.
I would think that's the only way that could happen.
All right, we'll wait and see what happens tomorrow.
So, well,
I would go off this theory, if Adams doesn't give us an answer by tomorrow, and if they obviously can, hold their meeting tonight, I would be fine with moving forward to allow MCLA to purchase the cruiser, because I think at this point, let's just get it off the books, get it out of here, get it sold, we'll deal with the other vehicle, obviously, in a different fashion, but, I kind of look at it this way, if there's no contingency really with the MCLA offer, if there's going to be, I think, a delay or any sort of, appropriation that needs to take place with Adams or any other municipality that might be interested, I think just the quicker, smoother sale process, I think is just beneficial for everybody, just to get it done, get it out of the way and move forward.
that's your guys' call,
Yeah.
All I do is bring
I'm
the
just anxious
information to you.
I mean, we want to get the most we can for it, obviously, but I'm certainly don't want to be stalling or waiting for town meetings unless it's necessary. So we'll see what Adam says tomorrow and move on.
Yeah, and say if we don't have a decision from them by 3 o'clock tomorrow, I think just move forward with the sale to MCLA. That's my opinion.
Okay. Next, something came up in the last 40 hours with our tech contract system. I guess the actual contract ran out June of 2024.
Yeah,
So, well, that's fine. So we just decided that we wanted to discuss it tonight and then possibly renew it. And Ron, do you want to say anything about that?
No, I didn't know previous if it was something that Carl just signed off on. I just wanted to bring it in front of the board for discussion. Jason's been great, so I have no issues. I know there was a slight increase, but everything else has increased everywhere else. So other than that, that's it. I have the copy of of the,
No, Jason's been great. Anytime I've ever reached out to him for anything
Good
for the
job.
town, he's always on top of it, and if there's an issue, he's right on top of it and doesn't leave us hanging at all, so.
I make a motion to approve the contract as written.
Okay, Jason, I second it, or we second it. Is there anything you want to add to that, or can you explain anything
Just
to
a
us?
couple things.
Yeah.
One, it was an increase and a decrease.
Right,
Because
yes.
I've been able to streamline so many things that there's actually a decrease in how much I'm needed, but my rates have gone up in the past 4 years.
Sure.
This is
So,
understandable.
give and take in that area there. The other thing is that I didn't propose a contract, and I gave you guys a proposal like I did last time. And the contract that I gave you that was from the year before was
Yeah.
a boilerplate that you guys had provided to me.
Gotcha, okay.
Okay, it doesn't matter to me, that is good how it's written, you know, it's just responsibilities and things of that nature, but, so I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Can I have the okay just to sign off on that?
Yeah, Dan, you want to second
Yeah, I'll
that?
second.
Sign off on it? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
All right, Jason, thank you. All right, now we'll get back on track of, Emily, do you have anything for us?
Just for the 41D?
The 41D? Okay, we'll do that right now then, since you're here.
Okay.
So we'll skip down to review and approve real estate exemption changes for the clauses of 41D and 17D. If you could let us know a little what that is and why or whatever.
Okay, first thing I would like the select board to consider is lowering the age requirement for seniors down to 65,
What's it currently at?
It's a-
70.
And doesn't have anything to do with the senior center, that's for,
This is for the senior exemption. It's still, they have to meet an age requirement also.
okay,
So I would like to, I'm making a suggestion that, we lower it to 65. And then if we adopt the 41D, that allows the assessor to change the income and asset requirements on an annual basis based on the COLA increases that the state puts out every year.
okay.
Which, if we do that, we can bring, I think we should bring the income up to 30,000, and I think we should keep the assets where they are.
Okay.
What's the rationale behind lowering it from 70, from 70 to 65? What's the justification?
Just so more seniors could apply if they wanted to.
Okay,
Okay.
I feel like more people collect Social Security now than ever. The COVID unemployed a lot of people, and a lot of people weren't able to get jobs afterwards. So they started collecting Social Security early. So there are a few more out there that do need a little bit more help with paying for their real estate. So that was just a suggestion of lowering the age requirement. There's not many. Most of the people who do apply are well over 70 years old.
My only concern is, losing any additional tax
Yeah.
revenue on that we can't afford to lose, I guess you could say.
The state, you do get state reimbursements for some of the exemptions, so you don't get the full 500 back, but you do get a portion of it back.
okay. I have to agree with, only because we're in a little bit of dire straits and all the discussion we have with the school and trying to keep the town running. I just worry about giving up more money. I know people are living longer too, which it seems like sometimes the ages should go up with that instead of down, but I do realize people are retiring earlier and some people are on Social Security. You don't have any idea how many people that would be affected by that, right?
No.
No.
I think I had one person under 70 apply, and they were obviously denied because they were not over 70.
Okay. Do you have any idea what other towns the age limit is? Just-
Pittsfield is 65, and I believe Great Barrington is 65. I have not looked into other
Okay.
towns. I do know, I just know a few of, the age requirement is kind of, probably most of them are 70, but I do know there are a few towns in Berkshire County that are at 65.
65.
How many people utilize this now?
The senior exemption. That is hard to answer, only because
The number
in the
fluctuates.
past, it was not done correctly.
Okay.
Therefore, this year, a lot of them were denied because the income requirement was never looked at.
So they were approved prior, but
Correct.
Shouldn't have been.
Correct. Which is why I'm asking that the increase in income, so those people who were getting it in the past can get it for fiscal year '26. Because they did not get it for FY '25.
Does this have to be decided on tonight, or can we get a little more?
No, we have to, I mean, I think it just has to be adopted before July 1st if you wanted it to go through. for
I would like to see if we can get the numbers of what it's really going to affect. I think of how many people would be eligible, or at least get some sort of ballpark idea before we make any drastic changes, I think.
And I found, of course, everybody's in a different situation, but when I retired, people always are worried, are you gonna have enough, and like you get your pensions and everything. But in my situation, I feel my expenses have gone down and whatever, and I feel like a lot of my friends this age, they're in good shape. Now, I realize there are people who are widowers or whatever, that possibly had issues and aren't making a lot of money. But I would maybe like to know a little more, because I guess at this point right now, I'm kind of hesitant to agree with that. So I'm wondering if we had a little more information or whatever, it would be helpful. And I don't know how much time you have to even put into this, or if you can find out too much for us, but I'm just not ready to.
So you guys
say
want to
yes.
know the exact number of people that would be approved by the income increase?
Income increase and the age decrease, per se.
Well, if the age, I think, would just be would affect, I mean, I won't know unless people apply. So like I said, everybody who has been applying in the past is over 70. And
Okay.
I only had one person apply under 65.
Yeah,
So that answers that.
Yeah, I'm just more curious if it gets
Everyone-
dropped to 65, if there's gonna be this massive influx of applications.
I won't know.
Yeah.
That I don't know. I don't, if they haven't applied in the past, I won't have those numbers. I just know that the people who have been applying
Yeah, it's
no longer qualify for the senior exemption because the income has not, nobody makes less than 20,000
right.
based on COLA increases and, even Social Security is around the 30,000 range. So I think that's mostly what I'm asking for here is by adopting the 41D, I don't need your approval to change the income and asset requirements. You can keep the age 70, but at least this, we can change the income and the assets based on the COLA increases every year that the state sends them out. I have a copy here. If you want to look at it. I only made one copy though.
This thing too, like 30% of our town is above 60. I mean, we're an older town too, so we're not sure how.
Well, right now, it's
much
only about
that would
20. I
affect?
think only about 20 seniors apply. Pretty much all of that, I think only out of maybe the 20 that applied in the past, only 2 of them qualified for fiscal year '25 because of the income.
I know you said we get a portion back from the state, like what percentage? Do we have a ballpark of what percentage that we get back from the state on that?
I can look.
Okay, I was just curious, because that makes it a little bit of a factor, whether, I think if it's, 5%, 5%.
I think we should table it, at least for the next meeting, just so we can get a little bit more information to make a,
Then we'll get into that.
yeah.
Now that does, that's the age limit, but this still doesn't affect the 41D or 17D. We can still approve that, or does that go along with it, the age thing? So in other words, can we approve what you're asking for tonight?
To adopt the 41D, that's up to you guys.
Yeah, so we can adopt that, but does that
That does not
doesn't lower?
change the age, that only changes the income and the assets.
Okay,
And that only changes it, so normally in the past, an assessor every year should have been coming here presenting how they wanted the 41C to go every year. That was never, I'm looking at it, it doesn't look like that was ever done. So the income and the assets never changed, they never increased. So now I'm bringing it forward, but not only am I bringing it forward in the sense that I want to change the income and the assets to a more reasonable number, I'm asking you to adopt the 41D so I can make those changes without presenting that income and assets to you every year.
okay. I guess that sounds good. I guess what's going through my mind too, let's say you're not here and we have trouble, we're always having trouble getting people for town hall and assessors. What if somebody isn't as knowledgeable, or we get somebody that's not as experienced? Could they just lower these things?
You cannot, I don't believe you can lower it. I believe you would have to stay with you'd have to keep it the way it is or keep increasing with the COLA. And the
Okay.
state sends this out on their website every year, and this
Okay.
lets assessors know what can and cannot be changed.
All right, thank you for that information. I guess in my opinion, I don't see why we can't adopt those clauses tonight unless you have an issue or want to look into that more also, which it's up to you two.
You get state reimbursements for all the exemptions that we have. You know, you have veteran exemptions, blind exemptions, I do know you get $87.50. We hand out $500, you only get $87.50 back for that one. You know, there's a veteran exemption, a blind exemption, you have the widow exemption,
Yeah.
and there's state
So
reimbursements.
are the exemptions capped at a certain number?
It's whatever the town, well, so like veterans, they have to have a service-connected disability.
Okay.
So if you're between 10 and 90%, you get $400. If you're
Okay.
100% disabled, you get $1,000. You get $1,000. If you're a 22D, which means your husband died in the line of duty or not in the line of duty, died due to their service-connected disabilities, you're exempt from taxes.
Completely?
Completely. They're exempt completely. We have one of those. Blind exemptions, they just have to be certified. They have to be from the Commission of the Blind, declared blind, legally blind. And in that, they get $500. We have a few of those also.
Again, I have a tendency to say that we should adopt the clauses 41D and 17D, but I think my opinion would be to keep it at 70
Okay.
for exemptions. So we can table it or wait, or we can do it separately, whatever you guys think.
I'm agreeing to keeping it at 70.
I'm fine, let's just, I
All right,
think
so-
we'll keep the age
So
at
make a
70.
motion to,
So I'll make a motion to approve the real estate exemption changes for clauses 41D and 17. No, 17 is the age, right?
17D. No, that's not the age.
Okay.
That's just a different exemption.
Okay, so-
It's still based on income and assets.
Okay, so I make the motion to approve the real estate exemption changes for clauses 41D and 17D.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
And we'll keep it at 70 for now. Okay, thank you, Emily.
Thank
you.
Appreciate all your work.
Thank you.
Okay, go down to the budget update, Ron?
Okay, so we're moving along in that budget process. We met with all departments. We have our last budget meeting tomorrow night with the school department. I contacted Donna Estes today to find out where we are in free cash, so she's working on that. And Paul is in there working on our expense ledger, where we are year-to-date percentage. We need to have that in order to make the
Decisions.
decisions we need to make, so, that's pretty much there. Really, nothing's really standing out crazy in the budget. You know, it's always gonna be a tight budget.
It is.
I'm just, like I told Colt earlier, I'm looking for ways to increase revenues for us, different ways. Good news today, we sold both lots up at Lincoln Landing. We got $7,100 for 2 lots, plus they're back on the tax rolls, so which is good. Then we'll have whatever happens with the police cruisers, we'll have some money coming in from them. Just looking to find ways to be more creative with what we have, you know, in the budget. We'll talk about this later, it's on the agenda, but Berkshire Public Health Alliance, I've met with them. They're like an enforcement agency that'll go around, and we have public health issues, which we have a lot of them around here with garbage and stuff like this. Generator issues running 24/7 because people don't pay their electric bills. They'll be able to give out fines, follow it all the way through the court system. So stuff like that we're trying to do.
All right, yeah, we'll discuss that in a few minutes. Also, we're really concentrating on grants, which I know a
Yeah.
lot of people in the public are always worried about
Yeah.
grants, and we should have a grant writers and that, but Berkshire Regional Planning has really been there helpful in all our grant
Yeah.
opportunities, and we got a lot going on.
Yeah, so just so you know, you speak about grants and grant writers, I put a line item in there. I talked with Brianna I put a line item in there for $5,000 this year at $40 an hour. Gives us 125 hours of grant writing. She can go after certain things, and in all actuality, she'll pay for herself easily. Plus, we can include her rate within the grant money that we go after. So there's certain things
and certain things have to
that
be-
she can go after,
Yeah.
you know. I'll still do my thing here, but it frees me up to do other things too. You know what I mean? So there's a lot to do here with this job, so, and to keep things organized. But yes, she's in there. I also put the money for the Berkshire Health Alliance in there. We're gonna see if we always approve it, but I put it in there so we have it in the budget. I think it's important for this town, because there's just no bite to anything anymore. And I'm rewriting the junk car,
Yep.
I call it an ordinance, it's a bylaw here, but to be a lot stronger.
Yeah.
And with some fines. And if we have this health alliance, we agree to this, we'll have an enforcement agency that can go in and enforce that stuff. So we need to do that around here, especially not having a police department anymore. So, and again, it's not a lot of money, but it is a sum of money, but I think if it's done correctly, it'll pay for itself. So.
All right, that sounds good. The bid for the generator.
Yes, I think I sent everybody a copy. Powers Generating Services they're out of Swansea, New Hampshire, came down, they did a complete audit of the building, and they came back with a bill of $21,015. That's completely installed. It's a Generac generator. They'll take care of the base it's mounted on, wiring, everything done, gas lines run, everything done. And they did charge us for tax or tax exempt, so that we can knock another $836 off of that bill. But that's what I have in front of us. The other bid we had was $50,000.
Right.
We have the funds in that grant.
Okay, and that's ARPA.
ARPA, yeah.
That's ARPA, and that's, I remember when Carl left, he said that the rest of the money would go for that, but he said we may have to pay more because he thought it might be
Yeah,
up to much.
so we won't have to pay anything because we have the money we got back from the fire truck, which was $27,000.
Yep.
And the 20 that was set aside for this, so we're in good shape.
That money has to be allocated and used, otherwise.
Yeah, so that's what I got, so,
I'll make a motion to accept the bid for the generator.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
good. All right, good, I'll let them
Thanks, Ron.
know,
That's,
and we'll get that going.
That's good
The
news.
other thing we gotta supply is the propane tanks, where we go to H.A. George or somebody local. And a couple pillars, which Kyle, we can get through money we already have set aside, so.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good, thank you.
Thank you.
And now we'll go right into the Berkshire Health Alliance.
Yes, okay.
Because,
I sent, I think I sent all of you, did you get it too? I think I sent it out to everybody, Berkshire Health Alliance. And what happened is Norman Romick from the Health Department had asked them to, reach out to me. And, because we just don't have, these guys that do these jobs for us, it's their second nature jobs, so they're not here full-time.
Right.
So we have to sort of rely on when they're here.
Yeah.
So what this Berkshire Health Alliance will do, and I'll just read this, it's the services provided by Berkshire Health Alliance. That's through Berkshire Regional Planning, just so you know. They'll do septic systems inspections. We'll get the money for it, which we don't know. Wells, for decommissioning of wells, private water supplies, food establishments, making sure, like Golden Eagle, they're the one to do the inspections. We'll get everything. Housing, they'll conduct housing inspections, complaints, and follow-ups. Abandoned or long-standing house cases addressed as time allows. They'll order re-inspections. Court time, they'll bill out at $75 an hour for court time. They got to go to court. Public health nuisance complaints, which we get a lot of those. Inspections and follow-up nuisance complaints that are at risk to the public health. These services are included in orders to correct measures and re-inspections. Online permitting, there's a ton of things that they'll do. They're looking, it's a contract, which would be $8,500 a year. But this is another thing that we talked about earlier that I think is important for this town.
Yeah.
Because we're limited on what we can do. This will allow us to be a little more aggressive and get some more money out of it. Because the problem is here, and I've been driving around for a long time, and I talk to Bob about this all the time, you guys must see this. There's more and more junk vehicles.
Now, would they handle the junk vehicles also?
Yeah. Because right now, it's under the purview of Bill Moranti, and Bill said to me the other day, well, you're done. I go, why am I done? He says, we gotta get a tow truck. No, nobody wants to go on private property and tow a vehicle. So this, we can go through the process, we'll bring them to court, do what we gotta do. And if there's fines that are out there, we attach it to the real estate bill.
That's great.
So,
That's great. No, it definitely is a different world. I mean, there's always been problem with people having junk cars and things on their lawns and stuff, but it may be my imagination just from getting older, but it seems like we've lost a lot of respect for our neighbors, or people don't care about anybody else.
well, there's a perfect example. I got a call last week from Daniels Road. The gentleman up there, they can't afford to pay their electric, but they can run a generator 24/7.
Loud.
The loud noise, people next door who take care of their things, it's a nuisance. I send people up to talk to it, doesn't help. We need to put big teeth into everything now, and that's what we're gonna do.
No, I agree. I think this streamlines the process.
Yeah, we're gonna go after it.
Bring us into the 21st century,
You know,
so.
I think it's worth trying it for a year, for some reason, if it.
It doesn't, then we gotta renew it, that's all.
Yeah, at least you say we tried and,
Absolutely.
I'll make a motion to enter into a contract with Berkshire Health Alliance.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Okay, Ryan,
Thank you,
that
boys.
sounds good. Okay, review policy on banning dogs on town property. We've had some discussion on this. There's been a lot of cases up at the corner with Alex Ren's area. Even up at the senior center a couple times, people bring their dogs and they'll walk up there. Down here on Town Field, people are always here, or town yard here, Town Hall. And it's getting to be an issue. It's the same thing. It's you want to be pet owners, you got to be responsible. And a lot of people just have lost that respect. They let their dogs go anywhere. They're not on a leash or whatever, and they don't pick up after them. So anyway, Ron has. Ron, you want to talk about this, or?
I don't really have a copy of it, but
Okay.
all it does, it brings everything up to date. There's fines in there. We increased the licensing fees for dogs. It hasn't been touched in a while. So we took the time when we wrote this. I'll give Marilyn and my counterpart over here, Rochelle, they put some work into it.
We had the information from Dan.
Yeah, Dan helped with
From
that, from Swampscott. There's a lot of that information you brought forward, which was good. And the problem is with a lot of our bylaws, they're just general. There's nothing specific. And you'll see another one that'll be coming to the board eventually. It's going to the planning board now, and that's for junk vehicles and all that stuff. We're gonna go after that too, so.
Yeah, and the thing with junk vehicles, I know that there's one, it's not just cars and stuff, and I realize you don't register lawnmowers and stuff, but I know a place that's got like 2 or 3 lawnmowers that have been there for years like that.
They're ornaments.
And of course, so they're not, they're registered, but they are motorized vehicles and stuff, and it's like, get rid of these things, but anyway.
It's just, I say this, Bob, it'd be like you or you taking care of your home and someone moves next door to you, and they allow that to happen. It just brings the value of your property down.
100%. You go to sell your house, no one wants to pull up and see the neighbor's yard full of junk, and
No.
I think you should be held accountable for that.
And that's what that's going to do with the other bylaw, but this tier too, you have a responsibility, you're a pet owner, take the responsibility.
Exactly.
Keep them leashed, if they go to the bathroom or whatever, pick it up.
Yep.
You have kids that go to these swing sets here.
Here's my question, enforcement.
Is
Is this gonna fall on our dog officer?
Yeah,
Our
a
animal
little
officer?
bit. In fact, I want to give her some kudos, because she went a little above and beyond today to take care of a situation for me in West Cross, so,
Okay.
she's doing her thing, so. Again, it's something that, it's unfortunate you would have to enforce, because it's just common sense.
Yeah.
You have an animal, and
Just
you
pick up.
defecate, you pick up behind them, that's all. It's a common thing to do. It's good practice, right?
Yeah,
So.
absolutely.
Yeah, and it's important for people to know that we are getting complaints.
Yeah.
We are being on top of this, and we do have to be more responsible as a town. And like you said, we do care about people's property, the value of their property, and just the respect for each other. So we adopt these hopefully so that people will wake up a little bit and be more responsible with things. So it's a 2-page thing. It is a public information, so people can come down and look at this whenever they want.
It has to be approved at town meeting, too.
It would have to be approved, so it will be out there, but, so I'm not gonna read it through, but, we'll have a motion to accept it as.
I'll make a motion to accept,
As amended.
or as amended, policy banning dogs on town property, as written.
Second?
All in favor? Aye. All right, thank you.
And there's one more thing, if I can interject here.
Yep.
As we know, we approved the roof contract for the school, over the roofing. I'm going to send a copy of this to each of you, because there's some stipulations in here with the contract. If we sign this contract, it says the contract price shall be paid in installments as follows. 30%, $119,700 deposit upon execution of the contract. So I want you guys to, I'm going to send this to you.
Yep.
I'll have it on the next meeting for us.
Okay.
But Tom Bone has been in contact with these guys, so,
Which we can't approve the contract until after the money's been
right,
allocated.
right, I can't put a signature to it
Okay.
without knowing that I know we have stabilization money put aside.
Yeah, it's actually free cash.
Free cash, yeah,
And-
yes, but anyway, so I just want to be aware of it. I'll send this to you so you guys can look at it. And then our next meeting, which I think will be May 12th, maybe, I guess, somewhere in there.
Well, I think we should maybe meet sooner than that with the budget stuff.
Yeah, I mean, this is an off week. We're supposed to meet the 1st and 3rd.
Yeah, so
So the question is-
so the first week, the first Monday would be
Is
the
it sixth? Is it the fifth?
No,
The 5th, I'm gonna be out of town.
third, fourth, the fifth would be your first Monday in May.
Yeah, I won't be in attendance.
I was just,
What are you guys gonna do? It's
I
fine.
mean, we need to, adjust a day or so, I'm fine with that, but I just feel we just gotta stand
When are
by
you
the
back?
budget.
I'm only gone for the night, so I'm just there, I'm in New York City.
Because I really think you should have a full board here, especially when we're dealing with the
I agree with
budget.
you.
We can do it the 6th if you guys wanna just push it out till Tuesday.
That'll be a Tuesday?
Yeah, because I just feel with the budget stuff going on, because we gotta have, what's the date we gotta have everything back
16,
up? By the
drop dead
16th,
date,
so
everything's got to
I
be
feel like
done.
that's, I'm going too long, like
I'm completely fine the rest of that week, it's just Monday. I have a
that's right, we can adjust for that, that's
Yeah,
not a
that's fine.
problem.
Whatever you guys wanna do.
You okay there, Bob?
I'm okay. Yeah, Tuesday should be fine.
Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever works, I'm fine either way, just not Monday.
Okay.
I'll try not to have too much stuff on the agenda, we'll just basically have the budget we
Yeah.
discuss. And hopefully by then we have everything we need, and we can.
Yeah, possibly with the police cruisers too, available.
Yeah, everything, yeah, everything,
Sale
yeah.
if we need,
Yep, yep,
on
yep.
that one, so. All
Yep,
right, Tuesday the 6th,
that'd be good.
put that in my calendar right
I just
now.
wanted to make you aware of this stuff.
Yeah.
Okay?
All right, that sounds good. Are there anything else about before the board, any public comments? All right, I'd like to adjourn the meeting at 5:33.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
All in favor? Aye.